freshman. For the freshman. I didn't have to do it. Nobody else did. But it was, we still did stuff. It was like things like the fight song, or you go and just talk about your goals for the next year. It wasn't like specific for the younger guys. It was like more the whole team get up to do something you're going for in front of the team.
Did you go up Mount Cush or no?
We did.
What was that experience like?
It was nothing like before. I've never done anything like it. When I first went, I was already like trying to figure out how it was gonna be. Then when we first started and we went straight up, and we were like sliding down trying to get up, it was like, this is gonna be a long hike. I finally found flat land, and it like kind of got a little easier on the way down. When you got to that steep part again, there's a lot of sliding, a lot of falling. So that's one thing you got to get ready for. So I got to be more prepared for that too. I had the wrong shoes last time.
So what kind of shoes were you wearing?
It was like some shoes we got here. I was like, I wore them one time when I was in the mud, so I'm just gonna wear them out here to the hike.
Yeah.
But it was real slick.
Yeah.
So it wasn't much grip. So I was just sliding the whole time. So I'm gonna find some more shoes. I might go buy me some hiking shoes. Something. I need something.
Did the experience bring the team together though? I mean, being up there and you don't have phones, you're not going back to separate dorm rooms. I mean,
for sure. We got a lot closer. I learned a lot about my teammates. Almost every night we went, in the night went to campfire just to talk. Yeah. So learned a lot about the teammates, just like what they go through, how they process things, what they're processing, just things like that. So you know your teammate, how to interact with them. So it was big to go through that.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
CJ, how you doing?
How you doing? Good work, sir.
So there's obviously been a lot of very positive stuff that's been going on for you. The leadership role that you've been taking on. What's that like to get that as a second-year player?
This is a blessing for sure. You get the opportunity, you just run with it. So you just continue to grow and just continue to get better and learn how to lead and just change yourself.
What are some of the things that you've been able to show off to be able to get to that point with the coaching staff? What kind of extra stuff you've been doing behind the scenes?
I mean, really, it's not really what you do behind the scenes because the coaches obviously don't see that. So it's really what you do in the moment where the coaches are there, where the players are there, just how you work, how much respect you have from the team. So it's just the things that people see. I mean, because the things you do people aren't gonna see that. So that's for you to get better, and for the people respecting you. That's how you go about every day, how you train every day, how hard you work, just how you present yourself in certain situations and adversity and things like that. So I think that's really the biggest part that played a role into getting the leadership role, which is how I handle adversity and how I train.
Tell us about the Washington, D.C. thing. What was that trip all about, and how did you get picked to go?
It was a leadership. It was like a leadership like kind of convention, and then we got there. We just learned about humanity. It was really, we went to a lot of museums, learned different histories. So it was like we went to the African American Museum, the Native American Museum, and the Holocaust Museum. So then after we go and we go to a museum and reflect. First we go and say like what we think the day is going to be about. Come back at the end of the day, have a discussion and just reflect on just the experience, what we experienced, and just try to put ourselves in those shoes. Because our biggest thing they said was to not put yourself in like. Look at it and like say you went to African American museum. So they said not look at it as an African American, but look at it as like in a humanity perspective. So it was just trying to just learn how to, I guess, see it in a different viewpoint, and that was the biggest thing. And I ended up going because my academic advisor had asked me, and she told me a little bit about what was going on, what we would do, and I said it'd be a good experience and good to grow. So I went ahead and went with it.
So she kind of hooked you up with it, or suggested it, and you looked into it and said,
yes, ma'am. She suggested it to me. She just told me like what it was. It's like a 2-year thing. So this year was in DC. Next year it's going to be in New Mexico City. So it's just yes.
Who else were with you from ASU? Was anybody else from ASU with you?
It was Miss Dina, Miss Kelly, and Arden on the beach volleyball team.
What's her name?
Arden.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was us who were there.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yes.
How long were you there?
5 days.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know because it was the week of 4th of July, so we had that break off. So I left that Friday, got there Friday. We ended up coming back Tuesday. So it was a busy schedule for sure. There was a lot going on and like a little break in the middle. But I mean, it ended up being like fun. At first, I was like, I don't know. because a lot of stuff. You just look at the schedule. It was like it's a lot of stuff to do. But then when you go out throughout the day, and like you actually enjoy what you're doing, so it doesn't feel like as long as it actually was.
So do you think you learned stuff there that can help you relate to your teammates and now kind of be a leader on this team?
For sure. Because once again, it's about looking at a different viewpoint and just humanity as a whole. So like, not everybody comes from the same background or grew up the same. So it's like just realizing like where they came from and how they grew up, and just the things that they think about, things that goes on in their life. Just trying to bring that into perspective when you're trying to talk to them and trying to like help them out. So it helps for sure just to see where they're coming from, really.
You're not doing just as good from a leadership standpoint. You're doing great academically as well. What's that balance look like for you to be able to, be a scholar student and good player at the same time?
I mean, by the time I leave here, I'm going straight over to CSAC, walking over past the field and going over to the CSAC building, and I'm just there, just doing however much I need to do. I'll be over there. Sometimes I'm there till like 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'll come back through and just go home. But I know it's necessary. I grew up, my parents are educators. My dad's assistant superintendent, my mom's a principal. So my whole life has been about grades, education. It's like you have to have education. So I grew up, I couldn't even get a B. So I just brought that work ethic over to college. So I'm just still trying to maintain a good GPA and just continue to like get education, because I know football only takes you so far. So I still want to be educated.
Your dad is what? You said a superintendent?
Assistant superintendent is.
Oh, where?
The high school I went to.
Okay.
So, it's over the whole school district, but he was, at first he started off as a principal, then he ended up switching to assistant superintendent.
And you said your mother is a...
She's a principal at the primary.
Okay.
Yes, Mom.